Hey, what's up guys? Time for a 4K dashcam shootout. Now, I've been running the Blackvue DR900S 2 channel ever since it came out. It was the first real 4K dashcam, and it had noticeably better video quality over the 1080p dashcams that preceded it. However, I have kind of been noticing recently that maybe compared to some of the newer dashcams, I think the Blackvue looks kind of muddled in terms of its detail and resolving capabilities. It looks like some of the newer 4K dashcams, even though they also record at 4K like the Blackvue, they actually have better video quality, and that actually got me really curious, and so I got 5 different 4K dashcams all loaded up on my windshield, and then once I started trying to edit and look at all that footage, it got a little bit ridiculous, and so I've actually narrowed it down now to my favorite 3 4K dashcams. We've got the Blackvue DR900S 2 channel, the Thinkware U1000, as well as the Viofo A129 Pro Duo. Now, I've covered all 3 of these dashcams in more detail in my complete comparison review of the best dashcams on the market. You can click the button on screen or link in the video description if you want to watch that video. That's not what this video is about. This is actually going to be focused just on the video quality differences. Now, when I started diving into the details, I started to find some maybe technical differences in the specs. There's things like how all of the dashcams record at 4K up front, but the Viofo's bitrate is actually twice as high as the Blackvue and the Thinkware, which means when there's motion involved, like you're driving down the road or other cars are driving past you, the Viofo should actually be able to do a better job of resolving any important details like license plates. Maybe with the rear cameras, you know, the Blackvue and the Viofo record at 1080p out the rear. The Thinkware records at 1440p out the rear, so higher resolution should be able to capture information a little bit farther away. But then the Viofo again has a higher bitrate out the rear, so if there's motion involved because you're driving, it should do a better job of capturing detail there. What about the different sensors that are being used with different low light capabilities? What about different lenses and different field of views? Like eventually trying to go into all the details. And so for that reason, let's just throw all that out the window for now and just take a look at a bunch of different dashcam footage. We'll take a look at videos of cars that are close up versus farther away, cars that are stationary versus moving. We'll look at sunny versus cloudy, daytime versus nighttime, front camera versus rear camera, a whole bunch of different situations. And what I'm wanting to look for is, are there times when maybe one dashcam is able to capture license plates, but the other dashcam is not? What are the situations where all of the dashcams can do it? What are the situations where no dashcam is capable of recording that important information? And that's really what I'm curious about. You know, what are the limits of the dashcams, and what are the situations that maybe one dashcam is able to capture what I need and maybe another dashcam is not? And so with that said, let's just take a look at a bunch of dashcam footage that I've compiled together, just taking a look from different situations, and just see how all these dashcams compare. So as you can tell, there's definitely some differences between the dash cams, right? Overall, it looks like the Thinkware and the Viofo do indeed do a better job of capturing important details like license plates compared to the Blackvue, despite the fact that they all record at 4K up front, right? There's definitely some differences there. Now, I could cherry pick footage and find times when the Blackvue is the best. I can find times when the Thinkware is the best, or maybe the Viofo is the best. But overall, big picture, I find that the Thinkware and the Viofo definitely do a better job at capturing details than the Blackvue does. And then maybe comparing the Thinkware and the Viofo itself, it goes back and forth, but I think I personally would prefer the Viofo. I just think it is able to capture the details in even more situations than the Thinkware. Maybe that's a bitrate thing, that's my best guess as far as why that's the case, but that's actually pretty surprising and impressive considering the Viofo, it's actually a much less expensive dash cam than the Blackvue or the Thinkware. Again, a big part of the reason is that it doesn't have some of the fancier advanced features like the cloud capabilities. It's focused more on the dash cam video recording itself. But if you just want a dash cam that records good video quality, that Viofo A129 Pro is really impressive. If we take a look maybe at nighttime, I do think though that the Thinkware does a better job when it comes to low light recording compared to either the Blackvue or the Viofo. The Blackvue is just kind of darker overall. The Viofo does do a better job at making things brighter, but it introduces a lot more noise. I did do a little bit of testing with the HDR and super night vision stuff. Those are usually best optimized for parked recording just because they add even more noise. You'll see weird artifacting with some of the HDR technologies when it's trying to combine two different exposures into one frame while you're driving. And so I don't normally run that while I'm driving, but kind of overall, I do think Thinkware does a better job when it comes to low light sensitivity. But I think in terms of detail, which is kind of the main focus of this test, I think I would give the slight edge to the Viofo over the Thinkware, even though, again, we can find situations where one dash cam does better than the other two. Overall, big picture, Thinkware and Viofo do better than the Blackvue, and I think the Viofo has a slight edge, presumably due to the higher bitrate, over the Thinkware. So anyway, yeah, hopefully you guys found this helpful. There was a ton of dash cam footage I know to look through. If you want any one of these dash cams, I'll have links down in the video descriptions to where you can pick them up. And yeah, if you want more information, if you want to see my complete review and comparison of these dash cams, there's more to a dash cam, of course, than just the video quality, although that's probably the most important thing. If you want to see my full comparison review between the dash cams, just click the link in the video description for my best dash cams on the market comparison. So Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.